So, you want to play JoJo's, but you're a newbie and have no idea what you're doing. You don't even know what questions to ask. Don't worry, this video is going to catch you up and answer some of the most common new player questions, such as, what are the controls? What's the best controller for this game? What characters should I main? What characters are easiest to start off playing? What's the difference between active stand, weapon stand, passive stand? What are some good resources with information how to play? What are the different playstyles? What do all the numbers mean? What are the best ways to stop getting hit? When are the best times to start attacking? How do I stop being predictable? How do I avoid getting punched? How do I do its time? How do I beat whole? Why should I never ever play Celestia, not even ironically or as a joke? Why am I forbidden from ever touching this disgusting character? All this and more in this video so you can start kicking ass as soon as possible. Also, special thanks to Sploogin McNoodle for being my editor for this. Sploogin McNoodle is one of the top players for JoJo on Fightcade right now. Also, special thanks to Majongles for voicing some of the parts in this video and being really awesome. Also, before we get started, here are some good places to get involved in the community. All are linked in the description. There's a newly opened JoJo subreddit where you can share and discuss anything about the game, and you get your own cute little flair too, so please post on here. There's a JoJo Discord where you can talk about the game and also get pinged for any tournaments. JoJo's Weekly Tournaments has JoJo tournaments every Saturday, so look out for those. Also, if you have any questions not covered in the video, feel free to ask in the comments and I'll try to help.
Looks like I won again, kid.
Grr, I quit this game. It's too hard and complicated. I will never be able to win.
Kid, there are only 5 tips that you need to know to learn this game. It's so fucking easy. You know these 5 tips? You can win every single time.
What? Tell me these tips, I want to win.
No.
Tip number 1. Learn the notation and controls. Please, by God, people, learn the notation for this game. So many people just decide they don't want to learn the notation for this game, and it's kind of weird. It's really simple. Everybody uses it, and it's easy to communicate with. People will talk about and teach the game this notation, so please learn this. Here, I'll put it on screen for a solid 10 seconds. Basically, what you need to know is that directions are indicated by numbers. Also, if you're wondering which controller is the best to use for this game, it really doesn't matter, it's all down to preference. You just pick one and get used to it. Someone won a tournament with an SNES controller once, so just pick any controller you want. Your basic controls in this game are this: light attack A, medium attack B, heavy attack C, and stand S. Crouching, jumping, and dashing moves all have different properties. Obviously, you can walk by pressing 6 or 4. You can also crouch by holding 2 and jump by holding 8, or jump diagonally by pressing 7 or 9. Hops are performed the same way as jumping, but you need to tap 7, 8, or 9 instead of holding those directions. Super jumps are performed by tapping 1, 2, or 3, and then holding 7, 8, or 9. Hyper hops perform the same way, but by tapping the jump buttons instead of holding. Super jumps can give you more vertical distance than usual, and hyper hops can give you more horizontal distance than usual. You can dash by pressing 6, 6, or backdash by pressing 4, 4. You can block by holding 4 or 1. You can also push block while blocking by pressing ABC at the same time. And you can guard cancel while blocking by pressing 6, 2, 3 and an attack button. You can roll by pressing ABC at the same time. You can grab by pressing 6C or 4C when right next to the opponent. Inputting 4C or 6C while being grabbed inputs a tech hit. If you get hit in the air, you can tech by pressing ABC in any direction. You can taunt by pressing start, which by the way can be cancelled into any special move and it's really funny. Each character has their own unique special and super moves. The inputs for these vary. Super moves require the use of meter, and while some only require one, some require multiple. Most super moves are activated by pressing 2 attack buttons at once after directional input, but some only require the use of one, like 360 motions. Some super moves, called Raging Demons, require buttons to be pressed in a specific order. There are also special kinds of super moves called tandems and custom combos, which we'll be talking about later. And finally, some characters use some secret jutsu techniques for their combos. The two you'll probably hear the most about are dash canceling and negative edging. If you're a new player, I don't expect you to be able to do these immediately, I just want you to know what they are. Dash canceling is performed by inputting 1 in the middle of a dash. By inputting 1 in a dash, you cancel the momentum of the dash completely. This is used because dashing attacks often have more recovery time than stationary attacks. Shadow Dio's loop is a good example of how this technique is used in a combo. In order to link 2A into 5C, the 2A must be dash cancelled. Negative edge is a technique that allows you to input specials quicker than usual. After performing an attack, hold the button you attacked with, then quickly input the motion for the special move you want to perform after. Finally, release the button you were holding, and that special should come out. Doing this quick enough will make it possible for certain attacks to link together, as well as make certain links a lot easier. For instance, negative edging Rubber Soul's 2A, 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 4A makes this combo link together a lot easier and consistently than inputting everything manually. Tip number 2. Learn your defensive options.
Oh my god. Why you gotta play Alessi?
Because that's part of the skit.
I hate Alessi so much.
Poor Polnareff here is being bullied by Alessi's 2 Cs, but he's sure he's blocking. What is he doing wrong? Well, you see in this game, like many other fighting games, there are overhead moves which must be blocked standing, and low moves which must be blocked crouching. Mid attacks, which are most standing attacks, can be blocked either way. Generally, you want to always be blocking low when your opponent's on the ground, since most ground moves are either low or mid. You block standing whenever you see your opponent in the air or read that they're going to try to hit you with an overhead. Some players and characters can jump and hit you with an overhead quickly, like Numpad, so you have to react fast and predict it, which will come naturally with experience. Be careful, some attacks that can be done on the ground are still overhead, so watch out for them. Some moves I see new players falling for a lot are Dio's Road Roller, Whole Horse or Whole Horse and Boingo's Glass, Vanilla Ice's 214, Alessi's Stand On 6B, Polnareff's Shooting Star. Fighting against these characters usually involves faster reacting and alternating between blocking, standing, and crouching. One more thing, all grounded normals cannot be blocked in the air. Also, some special and super moves, like Midler's Car Special and Super, can't be blocked in the air either, so watch out.
Good job, Polnareff. You blocked those 2 Cs correctly. Proud of you. Look out, Polnareff, it's an aerial move. Good job, you blocked it standing. You're smart. Oh wait, how do I block this slow bullet move? I've tried everything. Standing, crouching, stouching. This is stupid. Whole horse is broken.
Hold your horses, pal. This is what you call an unblockable move. It can't be blocked, so you just have to avoid it. You can either avoid them by jumping, crouching, dancing around, or roll. Still sounds bad though, right? Well, most unblockable moves are really easy to punish, since they either have long startup, long recovery, or both. Here's a list of some unblockable moves that I see new people try to block all the time. Iggy's Raging Demon Super, Midler's Vor Super, Kakyoin and New Kakyoin's Raging Demon Supers, Dio's Laser, Shadow Dio's Charisma Super, Command Grabs, such as Shadow Dio's 63 and 360 Supers, Whole Horse and Boingo's Pipe Bullets, Young Joseph's Hamon Beam Super, Whole Horse's Slow Bullet Super, Vanilla Ice's 214 Super.
Yeah, no, I'll never ever be hit by anything ever again. Help me, oh my god, how do I get out of these? I've tried everything, blocking, standing and crouching, rolling, standing there and doing nothing. Help me!
See, what you're getting hit by is called a grab. It's performed by pressing forward or backward and the heavy attack button when right next to your opponent. Try using it against them as they grab you. You just performed what is called a tech hit. Congratulations! Now you can show Can back to his place in the tier list. Also, you can sometimes just jump out of grabs, but not against some characters, so be careful. Sometimes players will tick grab you by making you block or roll by attacking you, and then grabbing you. Tick grabs can be very hard to react to, but learn to predict when they come. Rolling is a risk, a lot of players can react to them. You'll be grabbed as rolls can easily be punished with grabs. Ah jeez, he's got me in block stun. If I roll, he's just gonna grab me. Help me, what do I do? Well, maybe you did this on accident at one point while trying to roll while blocking, but pressing all 3 attack buttons at once will have your character perform a push block. This creates distance between you and your opponent. There, now you have time to make your move. My personal favorite option while defending is guard canceling. This can be performed by pressing 6-2-3 on any attack button. This will hit the opponent with your character's guard cancel attack, and make them stop attacking you. These are my favorite because good guard cancels can make your opponent scared to make you block. You can turn the match in your favor. Guard cancels are best used for when your opponent does failed tandems that force you to block, does failed multi-hit moves, or is generally just predictable in their attacks. You can really just guard cancel any attack. You only have 3 frames to do it, so it takes a bit of practice. Careful, only do these if you know you can do them, or you might accidentally input an attack and get hit. Don't let people bully you and block stuff. Push block and guard cancel to tell them to back off.
Well, what the hell is this stupid combo? Is this really a combo? I can't get out of it?
Press all 3 buttons in a direction in the air to tech into that direction. Be careful where you tech though. Teching into the opponent generally leaves you open to another attack. Of all the things I see new players do, this is the most frustrating. One thing to remember is to wait your turn. When you're getting hit by your opponent's moves or get stuck blocking, don't attack until an opportunity presents itself. Generally, mashing your buttons while blocking will cause you to get hit more. Specifically, you'll be hit by dropped combos and frame traps, like this Jotaro, who keeps getting hit by Rubber Soul 2A, 2A, 214A, and Whole Horse's 5A, 5A, 5B, 214B. He could stop getting hit by the last move if you were just gonna block low or jump away, but he decides to be stupid and keep mashing attack buttons. Or look at this Jotaro who keeps getting countered by this black Polnareff. This is not smart. He could be waiting out the counter and hold back just in case of an attack, then punch the counter, but instead he chooses to mash his attack like an idiot. Notice how most Jotaro players are not smart? Don't play Jotaro unless you're not smart. You'll also get hit by stupid shit like this if you decide you want to attack while waking up. You don't have to be attacking all the time. Learn when it's your turn to attack and think about your defensive options. But remember, you don't have to be on the defense all the time. You have a turn to attack too. When it's your turn to attack, you want to make it your turn for as long as possible. Each character has different ways to do this. Tip number 3. Learn how to play your character. First things first, don't watch Sex Ferguson's guides on characters. They are not very good. From the words of Sploogie McNoodle,
they have a lot of inconsistent and wrong information, and they don't have any good information on combos and set play.
First thing you need to know is this. There are 3 character types in this game. Active stand users, weapon stand users, and passive stand users. Active stand users can go into stand-on mode when S is pressed. Their stand-on mode has a different moveset, generally bigger hitbox, double jump, and instead of chip damage, they take damage through their stand meter. Be careful, if your stand meter empties, you get stand crash, which leaves you extremely open for a little bit. So it's important to refill your stand meter and protect yourself by switching to stand-off mode. You can also activate your stand by pressing S plus any attack button, or 236S for an instant stand-on move. This is generally safer. For some characters like Kakyoin, 236S will put them in remote mode, which generally isn't too useful as you take more damage when the stand users hit, and only your stand can block. Active stand users also have tandems that take up 1 meter, which can be activated by pressing 214S and mashing buttons. Tandems are used a lot in competitive because they do so much damage if mashed properly. I wouldn't say to use these unless you practice them enough, but for some characters like Kakyoin and Vanilla Ice, you just want to mash ABC as fast and consistent as you can. Weapon stand users are basically just active stand users, except they don't have double jumps or tandems. Instead of a tandem, they have something similar called custom combo. When pressing 214S, you activate custom combo mode, and you are easily able to link multiple attacks together. Passive stand users can't switch modes and instead just have another attack for S. This, like any other special move, can be cancelled into from any taunt or normal move, allowing combos and setups like Rubber Soul's JA and JS, and Whole Horse and Boingo's 2BS to work. Some characters have special movement abilities and others don't, like Whole Horse's Run or Kakyoin's Air Dash, but I can't go over every character in this guide since it's a general guide. Once you know how your character's moves work, you should know their basic combos and setups to make the most out of the moves that land. For example, as Whole Horse, I don't want to do a 2C sliding kick and run away. That'd be stupid and not optimal. Sure, I got in, but I didn't do anything with it. And I have to get in again and again and again. Almost every attack you do should lead into something. For example, after knockdown you can do glass, 4C, hangman.
See how much better that is than just running away? You want to make the most of your moves that land. Even Whole Horse doesn't play like a complete coward.
And now it's time for Word of God. SQ is arguably the best JoJo player in existence right now, so this is what he has to say. Basically, getting used to your character's options and combo practice is key to playing a solid game, since if you can make the most out of every little hit you get in, you can overcome most challenges. You should not be wasting the opportunities you get. When choosing a character to main, I'd say start out with someone easy like Rubber Soul, Black Boner, or even Shadow Deal, just to get used to the feel of the game. Then after that, you pick a character you think looks cool or has a cool personality. If you try to main Kakyoin right off the bat just because you think he's cool, you're gonna struggle and learn slower because you just don't get a feel for how the game works yet. Here's a character difficulty tier list image. Characters on the bottom are generally more easy to learn than the ones at the top. So I'd say start at the bottom and then try to learn a character at the top later. Hehe, I'm back. I know 2 out of 5 tips now. I'm gonna beat you up. My new main is Dio.
Kid, you can't main Dio. You barely know how this game works. You're not smart.
I'll show you how powerful I am.
Yeah, show me how you die, stupid. Wanna know why so many people try to tell new players not to play as Dio? It's because it's hard to do his basic combos, and to play as him in general. It's hard to get the most out of him. Meanwhile, a character like Shadow Dio is a lot easier to get the most out of. Trying to main a good Dio when first starting out is like trying to take a SAT in kindergarten.
I'll lose again. I will never win.
That's right, because you're stupid and you pick Dio and do stupid stuff.
And now it's time for character overviews. Avdol. Avdol doesn't have long or hard combos, but his normals beat out everything and hurt a lot. On top of that, he has the tools to do mostly everything at an excellent level. Alessi. No, Black Pulner. He's a really easy damaging combo, so he's perfect for beginners. He's 2-1-4 A super is the best super in the game, and can take away 40% of your opponent's health physically and emotionally. He kind of relies a lot on hard reads. Chaka has really good air buttons and is actually a really technical guy. He has one of the best guard cancels. Unfortunately, his Oki game isn't that strong, so you have to play neutral with him a lot. Alessi. He's a short guy with some long ass ground pokes. You kind of just pester the opponent with his pokes until you're able to land his cool combos. Then turn the opponent into a child and beat the shit out of him. Devo. Hard. He's a hard boy. He is very complex. It relies on his puppet for block stun and unblockables. His specials are all tied to the doll, so you need to be good with doll placement. Dio. Hard AF as fuck. I know what you're thinking. Man, Dio is so cool. I'm gonna learn Dio combos. He's the best guy, and my mom said... Idiot! He's a really good character, but be prepared to throw in many hours of your life trying to learn his combos. Whole Horse. A zoner that relies a lot on setting up unblockables and frame traps. He capitalizes on punishing the opponent's mistakes. He's really only scary if he can land a knockdown, and if he gets touched, he's done. Boingo. So, guys, what if we took Whole Horse and took everything that made him good and threw it away? Oh yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's a good idea. Iggy is really good at farting on the opponent's face. One important thing to keep in mind is without the stand, he has a teeny hurt box, but his normal sucks shit. And with the stand on, he has a really big hurt box, but gains a lot of good buttons and movement options. Young Joseph, he's a very simple guy. You just kind of run around smacking people up with baby combos or get them kind of clacker boomerang. Old Joseph, most of his normals aren't so hot. Almost every matchup is an uphill battle for him because of how hard it is to approach opponents. Jotaro, he can charge into your pooper or sit back and poke you with his amazing buttons. His game plan is pretty simple. Combo to knockdown is set up for 50-50 with Starfinger. Even though his game plan is simple, doing his combos require a little bit of work. Khan, no. Kakyoin. Kak can do whatever he wants. He's really good at everything except building music. He's extremely technical, but putting in the time heavily rewards you. Mariah, universally agreed as the weakest character in the game. She's a zoner with really slow startup times. She isn't very hard, so if you're looking to pick her up, she's very easy and fun, but is really not that strong. Khan, introducing Khan, the second weakest character and is super easy to pick up. He sucks at Midler, a really weird character. She doesn't have a solid game plan. She can kind of do things, but is below average at all of them. She's really scary with her 2-1-4 suit. Be prepared to change your game plan on the fly. Nothing is really set in stone with new Kakyoin. Alright guys, new idea. So what if we took Kakyoin and took everything that made him good and replaced it with sunglasses? Oh, that idea is good. His damage output is really bad, but he has really good movement with his pseudo wave dash and nice OKC. You won't get rewarded as much as you do with normal Kakyoin. Most people say there's no point in choosing new Kank over normal Kank. Polnareff puts you into jail with Shooting Star and can make you eat high-low mix-ups all day. He can just trap you into eating combos until you die. Rubber Soul, cheesy guy with a cheesy attitude. He can trap the opponent in the corner and his grab is terrifying. His hurt boxes are extremely weird. This guy is a god. That being said, he's a pretty weak character. Shadow Dio. If you like Dio but also like yourself, play this guy. He's really easy and recommended for beginners. He's also super reliant on one really really easy combo, as well as having a billion things he can do on the opponent's wake up. His tick grabs are extremely strong. Vanilla Ice, he doesn't wear pants. To compensate for this no pantsness, he has extreme top tier jutsus. If you do one of his combos into tandem, chances are your opponent's probably dead. If they didn't die, he is a supremely airtight Okizeme that requires task blocking skills. If you want to win, pick him. For general advice on how to play specific characters, such as how moves work in basic combos, the Stand Crash Wiki is your best friend, which is linked in the description. There's also another JoJo Wiki in construction, but by the time this video is up, it may already be done, so check the description if it's up already. There are also character B&B combo videos by Aleph Null that are very helpful. The Discord server in the description is a major help. I may also come out with basic character guides in the future. Tip number 4. Mindgames/Adaptation.
If you ever train a dog to roll over for a treat before, you know how to condition behaviors. It's the same for this game. You want to condition your opponent into doing what you want him to do.
So we all know Rubber Soul's 2828, 2148 that a lot of people fall for. Let's test it on this player. I see that they're always blocking it low when I do 2148. Now I think I have a pretty good idea of what he's going to do next. I predict that he's going to keep blocking. So I go 2828, then I walk forward and grab. Now Polnareff has 3 other options here. Jump out of it, attack, or roll. Polnareff's safest chance here though is to jump backward. So what do I do the next time I get a 2828 on Polnareff? The same thing. Most of the time this works and it's so funny to me. This works because your opponent has likely developed habits. A lot of players right now don't know how to be able to be flexible with those habits in a match. They essentially go on autopilot because when practicing, they see something that works and think that it works all the time. They don't practice with the idea of multiple options in mind. The reality of it is that nothing will work all the time. You have to constantly predict and adapt to what your opponent's doing. Every option has a counter option. What makes fighting games so hard is almost nothing is guaranteed. Now this also works against me, because he's conditioned me to think that grabbing him will work. He's giving me a treat every time I roll over. If you tell a dog to roll over and offer them a treat, they're gonna roll over. But you're not a dog. You don't have to fall for this trick. A good example of this is this match with Alessi Senpai's Alessi. One of Alessi's worst enemies is Whole Horse's Air Glass. It's pretty damn safe. It's hard for Alessi to get in and punish it, except for one thing. Whole Horse is completely open as she's falling down after using it. Alessi Senpai is caught on. After I spam glass a bit, he goes in for a great punch with a super in the corner and gets a lot of damage in. But I've caught on too. So what you don't want to do is blindly shoot air glass because he's caught onto that. He's not stupid. Now I make it look like I'm retarded. Then I do a fake out. He wastes a super bar and I could have gone for a devastating punish right there. But I didn't because, well, nobody's perfect and I have fingers made of jelly bean. What we just done is condition each other. He's conditioned me to think air glass will work on him, and I've conditioned him to think a super on me will work. A great punish can be devastating, but you can only punish frequently if you can predict what your opponent's going to do. But the idea is that in order to win, or even to have a fun and interesting match, you need to always adapt. If Alessi Senpai went on autopilot, the match would have been over right there. And if I went on autopilot, well, goodbye, Whole Horse. This is why high-low mix-ups and 50-50s are so good in this game and other games. You're essentially forcing your opponent to predict what you're gonna do. Look at this. When he's waking up, he has to predict whether Nukkakyon is gonna go for an instant overhead or a low. This can be really hard for new players to do due to their slower reaction times. Dude, spamming is so broken! Stop doing that clacker volley shit, I can't do shit.
Okay, there's no spamming in fighting games. You just punish it and get on with it.
But I'm too stupid to know how, so I just complain. There's really no such thing as spam in most fighting games. If your opponent cannot adapt and doesn't know how to avoid and punish, that's their problem. Spam is predictable, and you're gonna get punished by people who know how to deal with it. But if they don't know how to adapt to something you're doing, it's really not shameful. Sometimes you can even make your opponents adapt in your favor by annoying them with spam, essentially punishing what options you expect them to take. Okay, let's look at this. When young Joseph gets at the right spot, it's clacker volley time. So if you don't block or get hit by the clacker volley, it just goes behind you. What young Joseph has essentially done here is change and limit his opponent's options, which makes it frustrating for most opponents. Let's look at some of the options our opponent has. He can dodge into me, easy grab punish. He can jump into me and attack with an aerial, which I can respond with a devastating super punish. Both of these require decent reaction time to pull off. And see, young Joseph is designed to punish in these ways. The clacker volleys go away after these moves are connected in order to do a reset. You'll see different options depending on what character you play as. It might be hard to deal with at first, but adapting and playing around spam strategy is very important and rewarding. You will only get better if you learn how to adapt. Combo execution is important too, but neutral and footsies is really important as well. Even if your combos aren't that good, if you can get in more, then you're pretty well off. You can get out of almost anything, and if you can't, you simply lack the knowledge to know how to do so. Or if it's something execution-wise, then you simply need to practice more. Now I know 4 out of 5 tips. Now I'm gonna beat you.
Kid, you don't get better just like that. You gotta practice. Now I'm gonna beat your ass.
I never gonna win.
Yeah, kid, you gotta lose every time because you don't listen to tip 5.
Tip number 5. Practice with a purpose. The point of this guide isn't to make you good immediately. When you finish this video, you're not going to transform into a god. The point is to teach you how to get better. What I mean is this. When you practice, you should be practicing combos, improving reaction times, and most importantly, learning options and learning how to punish those options. How much fun is a game where you don't learn anything? You have to do the same thing over and over again. That's not stimulating, and the game isn't designed that way. You won't get good immediately. Just keep practicing, and as long as you know what you're practicing for, you'll get better. If you can get anything out of this guide, it's this. Learn how to get into your opponent, and once you do as much damage as possible. And when it's your opponent's turn to attack, there's always a way out. For further help, join the Discord server in the description and that's there. And I'm also happy to answer some questions myself in the comments. Now get out there and kick some ass.